Hey, Richardson here with Lamacchia Realty. In this video, I want to go over the 8 steps that you need to consider when you think about buying your first home. Here we go. 8th step is, have you determined what you can afford? Meaning, where are you right now? Have you looked into your finances? What's your credit like? Have you had the chance in the past 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, even a year, pull the credit to see how it's looking? There's resources out there where you can actually look up the credit for free. You can sign up with Credit Karma or Experian.com or any one of these credit services so you can view where your credit stands, because that's going to be important for you to be able to determine, okay, what you can afford. And the rule of thumb is, are you currently paying a rent? If you can, for example, if you can affordably pay $1,800 a month, then that's actually where, as far as mortgage-wise, you can, possibly afford. Because you can comfortably pay it, be able to save some money, pay all your debts, either your car note, insurance, be able to put food on the table, and not have to sacrifice, a dinner out with the family, or yourself, or even go to the shop and get yourself that nice dress you want or that nice suit. So if you're able to do all these things and still be able to pay your rent on time, no issues, then I would say, okay, well, use that as your starting point. Okay, use it as your starting point, and to see, of course, if you can get a mortgage around that. So that would be the first thing that you would need to consider. Now, since you've determined that, okay, you can afford, a certain amount, or you can comfortably afford your current rental payment, what you will need to do is, now, of course, you speak to a lender. Okay, now your lender will help you kind of like guide you in as far as, have you saved for a down payment? Have you saved for enough for your closing costs? Because your down payment and your closing costs, closing credits, all of that are different fees that you're gonna have to come up with. Have you saved enough for that? Not just simply for the down payment, but enough to cover some of the fees that will come and that will become involved in the process as well. Because there are many programs out there to help you. Also, there are programs where you can put 20% down, some 15%, some 20, as low as 3% down. Now, the first step is being able to, again, still part of being able to determine what you can afford. So that will be the first step still. So the second step to the process is getting pre-approved. Getting pre-approved is a way of communicating with your your mortgage professional, providing them documents to make sure that they have all your finances, so that they're able to put together the numbers to show you, okay, based on the, what you're making, what you're bringing in, this is what you can afford. For example, like I said earlier, if you're comfortably paying, let's say, $1,800 a month for your rent, and it comes about to be, $1,800 a mortgage, that is great. Because now you definitely know where you are, where you stand, what you get pre-approved for, and now which will get you prepared for the next step, which will be of course, going on the hunt. Okay, going on the hunt meaning going to look for houses, but we're not quite there yet. Now, don't get it confused. The pre-approval document that you would get from either your mortgage broker or the bank does not necessarily mean that that's the mortgage. That's just the first step, because you haven't provided all the documents that will satisfy the mortgage, which would be another process. But the pre-approval is like the first step when you're talking to the bank and letting the bank see where you currently stand. And let's say that because sometimes if your credit is not quite there yet, let's say you were supposed to be at a 640 to be at a better interest rate, but right now you're at a 620. Let's say within the next 3 weeks you work hard, you work with your lender, your credit professional or your restoration company, and then they're able to help you delete some stuff or erase some stuff to actually help you get that extra 20 points to help you save on your interest rate. That is great, because now your interest rate will be lower, and now you end up saving more on your mortgage. So the pre-approval again is the next big important step to it all, because the pre-approval will now allow you to go to open houses, allow you to go to pretty much any showings where you can comfortably look at a particular house, so that you can say, okay, so this is what I can get for my money. This is what I can get for this amount I'm pre-approved for. But the most important thing is, let's say while you're on a showing with your realtor, or you go to an open house and you see that house that you want, you can make an offer on that same day, for that house, because now the selling agent will see that you now a buyer who is able and able to buy. So now that puts you in competition with other buyers. So that's the next important step that you will need to accomplish before we get to the next step in the buying process. Now we're on the next step in the process, the third step, which is being in contact with a realtor, like myself. So this is where I come in, okay? And this is where an agent comes in, whichever agent that you end up choosing, to represent you. Again, because that's important. Because now that you've chosen the realtor that you're comfortable with, the realtor that you've had the chance to interview, and the realtor that you've had the chance to do the consultation with, because that process is important. Because when you're choosing your realtor, you want to make sure that your realtor understands where you're coming from, understands what you're trying to accomplish, understands your end goal. Are you just looking to buy just for the family? Are you looking to buy as an investment? What is your end goal? So having a realtor that understands what you're trying to accomplish is huge. So because now the realtor, will be able to assist you with the open houses that you can visit. The realtor will be able to put you in an email system so that you can get access to the homes that are listed up for sale. Now, the way that I work with my buyers is that with my company, we have what's called the Buyer Advantage Program. So where I'll be able to enter you in a proprietary software that I have, and through that you can get access to multiple homes. You can get access to homes as soon as they're listed on the open market. You can get access to off-market properties. You can get access to current estate sales and recent foreclosures, things like that. And you can get access to homes that let's say that they're on maybe a probate situation, but they will become available. You can get access to those as well. So a realtor comes, as the third step is huge, and that's where I come in, and that's where we want to make sure that I don't want to say hold hands. Yes, we do hold hands, we shake for sure. So that's where we really help guide you so that you're able to find that perfect home. Now, I usually say, now that you have the pre-approval in hand, now that you have the realtor, don't rush the process. Don't rush the process. Take your time to view houses with your realtor, because at the end of the day, it is a decision that you'll be making for yourself and your family. And the worst thing that you want to do is be feeling rushed into buying a house that isn't really hitting home for you, that isn't really touching your soul, I usually say. So make sure that home is that perfect match for you. Now, there are some situations where all the wants that you have may not be in a home, but I usually have my buyers do a wants and needs analysis with me. Okay, well, if you may want this, but depending on where you want to live, you may not have those amenities. Is that a want for you, or is it a need? But I know sometimes work locations are probably a want and a need. So we categorize it on that aspect with when we do sit down for the consultation part of it. So that will be the next step, which is the pre-approval. All right. So now the fourth step in the process is determining what you want. What style of homes do you want? Do you want a 2-bed, 3-bed, 4-bed? What are you currently living in right now? So if that's what you want, then start looking at that type of bedroom size. Do you want a little bit more space? Do you want, what are some of the stuff that you're looking for in a home? Do you want a big backyard? Do you want a big front yard? Do you want a space for your pets to run? Do you plan on growing a family? So if you plan on growing a family, you need room, of course. Do you want a single style ranch? Do you want, 2-story? You see where I'm going with this. You're determining what you want, because now that you have the pre-approval and now that you have your realtor who's helping you find a home, of course, during the consultation, the realtor would have probably asked you, okay, what are you looking for? So that's what you're gonna have to determine, okay, because where you want to live sometimes make a big difference in your pre-approval. Because let's say if you live in the suburbs and you want to live in the city, as we know, whenever you live in the city or closer to the city, in proximity to the city, prices differ a little bit. You get a little bit less for your money, and sometimes space becomes an issue where you get less space for your money as well. So that's usually an issue. So if you let's say you work in the city and you want to live as close to the city as possible, that's important for you to determine as well too. So that's the next step: determining what you want, size, amenities, style of homes, bedroom, other exterior features that you want, such as a pool and things like that. So determining that is you. So that will be the next step. So now the fifth step that I want to go over with you is keep viewing homes. Now that you've been pre-approved, you have a local realtor, you've been in contact with your mortgage person, you know what you want. So now the next step is keep viewing houses, go to open houses, view homes and make offers, because in this market we know that properties come and go as soon as they hit the market. So you may not be so lucky as far as putting one offer on the table and it gets accepted. Of course, now there are more homes being listed up for sale, but keep that in hand. Sometimes you may have to put in multiple offers to land yourself a home. But keep doing that. Keep viewing houses. Keep going in and then keep checking off the checklist to make sure that if what you expect or what you expected is what is really out there, or your expectations in line with what's currently on the market. So I would say that's the next step. So this step is step 6, is staying consistent with your finances. Usually I would consult my buyers to not make any major purchases at this time. Do not change jobs. Do not go over your credit card limits. And if you have some limits on those credit cards, try to bring them down. Stay consistent. Get all your ducks in a row as far as your work, as far as your pay stubs and all that, because you're going to need them for the mortgage commitment. So do not change your finances. Keep a low profile. Make sure that everything are in line and for the next 30 days or the next 45 days or the next 60 days, so that nothing changes for you financially. Do not go do a pre-approval in any way, shape, or form. When you go to the stores, do not try to have them look up a credit just so that you can get this discount, things like that. We know that sometimes going to the stores are always like, hey, you can get a better discount if you were to sign up for something. Stay away from that. Just avoid it for the next 65 days, the next 45 days. Now, let's say that's if you've found a home and you're ready to make an offer, or you've already made an offer. Especially if you made an offer and then you're in the process of offer and pre-approval, inspection, stuff like that. So I would say keep that process in line. Don't make any changes, especially work. Do not change work. Let's say if you're the type of person who you need a good 6 months to a year to really make sure that you feel good with your search, or you have not, or you felt that you haven't really exhausted the market, then I would say definitely do not change jobs, because that's gonna be a big determining factor as far as your pre-approval process. So that will be the 6th step. So now we're down to the 7 steps, which is the actual buying process. So now that you have found that dream home and that you've made an offer, your offer have been accepted, everything's going great as far as the terms of the offer. So now it's pretty much the waiting game as well for you, because now that's when realtors and your attorneys, they go to work. That's when your realtor goes into scheduling inspection, going through, of course, the purchase and sales with your attorney. At that point, your realtor, will help you select an attorney, or you can have an attorney of your own that you may have selected that you trust. I usually recommend that if you're going to choose an attorney, choose an attorney who is a mortgage, a heavily focused mortgage attorney, in mortgage affairs, because not all attorneys focus on the same, in the same categories. So you want to have that attorney, and I'm sure that at that point you've already had the consultation with that attorney, and now you're just going through the process. And your attorney at that point will be going through the purchase and sales and making sure that all the languages now are in your favor, and that nothing is really gonna cause you any problems. Of course, the money that's gonna be going on the table, the amount of money that you're gonna need to bring with you, the as far as closing costs, attorney fees, realtor fees from the buyer side, realtor fees from the seller side, inspections, and things like that. So, and of course, title, title and escrow, all of that are taking place all at the same time. So, and that's where really your realtor shine, because your realtor at this point is pretty much keeping the well-oiled machine going, because your realtor is making sure that every single of these individuals involved are in line, are in tune. It's kind of like playing a band. Now everybody is playing the same tune. So that's where real realtors come in. We make sure that everything's going down the straight timeline, so that we can help you close on time. And that's where I really love the process, because I know if everything is going well, then I know that it's one step closer for my buyer, and that I'm just waiting with my buyer as well while I'm doing all these things to make sure that my buyer gets the keys in the next step. Congratulations, now we're down to the 8th step, which is the closing time, because at this point we've been through everything together. We've been through step 1 to 8. We've been looking at homes. We've been going days and nights making sure we find the perfect home, and we've been through the mortgage process. There's the last part in the mortgage that you need to go through, which is called the mortgage commitment, because that's the final letter that the bank will hand over to you or your attorney. Say, or your agent say, you are clear to close, meaning that they've checked your credit again one last time, they've checked all your finances, nothing happened there, you didn't change your job, they're satisfied with what they see, and now you are being given the amount that you requested to buy your dream home. And that is the final line for you. I would say now at that point, there are different places where your attorney may, ask you, do you want to close at the registrar office? Do you want to close at their office, or different any other areas where they may choose? But most likely, it's usually at the registry of deeds that they end up choosing, or the attorney's office as a backup. But wherever it is, be prepared to spend at least a couple hours there, because you will be signing some documents. You will be signing lots of paperwork, so that everything can get registered, and that you are now the landowner, and your name goes on the books as the owner of that property. So again, congratulations. Step 8, be ready to pop a bottle, be ready to have those keys handed over to you. You've gone through it all. I hope the process was not too difficult, and now you are a proud homeowner. Congratulations. So so if you found this very helpful to you, please share it with a friend, or you can refer back to it if you're in the process right now yourself, and you're looking to buy in the next 6 months or year, or whatever your timeline may be. So please be in contact with me if I may be able to assist you, or if you just simply want to get advantage to my Buyer Advantage course. I'm sorry, not course, my Buyer Advantage program, so that I can start giving you access to the homes that are out there, and how you can actually go about the process and you know, search homes a lot easier in your own spare time, and see things as soon as they come on the market. You can get to judge the property and be able to look at properties side by side, so you can see, okay, well, this is, you know, what I can get for my money in certain areas. So again, it's Richardson here with Lamacchia Realty. It's been a pleasure going through these 8 steps with you. I know the video may be a little bit lengthy, but I know it's going to be worth it for you. It's pretty much almost the same thing that I will usually go to with my buyers, and when we do a consultation, so that you really see, okay, the process from start to finish on paper and or through PowerPoint even before we get there, so that we already know, okay, this is what we're going to be looking at for the next, you know, time that we're going to be working together. Richardson here again with Lamacchia Realty. It's been a pleasure. Talk to you soon.